On JK13, you don't file the B10. The trustee gives.
Right, but you fill it out. But you fill it out.
No, you don't.
Yes, you do.
As the creditor, fill out. As the creditor. As a creditor of the bank that's in bankruptcy.
You put in B10?
The bank is in bankruptcy is what he was talking about. Which bank?
First Magnus.
First Magnus is in bankruptcy.
They're the one that fills out the
So
B10.
anybody that has a loan with anybody that has a loan with First Magnus would go into the bankruptcy court as a creditor. I want my money back. Before you liquidate this bank, give me my money back. Give me my promissory note and all that.
With an OID to 1099?
No, in the bankruptcy court.
I mean, when you walk in there, do you have?
Oh, well, that's whatever evidence you want to give, whatever process you use, right.
Yeah,
Remember, there's many ways to
understand the
skin
nuances between the two, what you're trying to achieve.
Right.
This one right here is saying release all this stuff that was held in escrow.
Right.
Now, if we want to get really nasty and dirty, I can go in and go after the insurance company because there's still going to be a tail policy in there after First Magnus is long gone. Because why? They got to bond the CFO, the Secretary, and the Treasurer.
And they have to stay. They have to keep the coverage
5 years
for a long time. Right?
5 years.
I didn't know how long, but I knew it was for a long time.
So now,
a lot of money. Right.
So now, when I go in that route, I can go ahead and back it all up with the IRS form showing that this was a tax issue that they've avoided, and now they're a tax fugitive because they haven't returned the principal and interest to me, the source and sponsor and lender of the credit. Does that make sense?
Yeah. Thank you, Tom.
Oh, we're going to get into insurance.
Yeah.
Don't get too ahead of yourselves on that, because that's in remedy, okay? Let's finish at 28, and then we'll get right up. We'll get down the road into the remedy. Modification insurance.
One quick recap on 8, please.
8A, 8.
Recap summary on what we put in that box on
8 and 9 are the same.
which same what?
The MIN number or the case number or whatever account number you're talking about.
Okay,
traffic ticket number or whatever.
Sorry for being stupid.
That's all right.
MIN.
MERS identification number.
Which I find where?
On the deed of trust.
Thank you.
For example, if this was a California FTD issue, then just a California FTD issue.
Right. Exactly. If it's a traffic ticket, it would just talk about the traffic ticket.
But see, you guys gotta understand something real quick. Is they didn't loan you nothing, no money. The affidavit of surety saying if I owe you something, I'll pay you. But because they didn't loan you any money, how can you pay them? Because all they did was broker your own credit.
That's right.
Right? Are we in agreement with that?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Amen.
Yes, sir.
Yes. Yes,
I got a
sir.
question. This document, is this a reference to the promissory note?
Yes, the promissory note, the insurance.
Why do you put the number for the other document in here?
Because remember what I said in the beginning? The way we're putting these documents together, we're saying to them, you can either give me the house or you can give me the money.
So that's why, okay.
I don't care which.
Yeah, gotcha.
Just do it. The ball is in your court. Make a choice. Be a man. Step up and do something.
Be honorable.
Be honorable.
Because they're operating
Do something.
Yeah.
Right. So it's the same there in 8 and 9, and then in 11 is the same number.
11 is what? Optional Form 9091?
No. Optional Form 9091 aren't bonds.
Okay, so what's in
The
there?
deed of trust is a bond. The note is a bond.
Oh, so the deed of trust, the note.
The MIN number. The MIN.
So 11 is the MIN number?
Again, yes. Remember, everything goes to that MIN. What is a bond? A bond is a conditional promise to pay. Is a deed of trust a conditional promise to pay?
No.
Yes, it is.
I'm sorry. Yes, it is. Deed of trust is a conditional promise to pay.
That's right.
By assignment.
No, you made conditions. You agreed that you'd make sure that the yard was mowed, you'd make sure that the weeds are kept cut down, you make sure there's no broken glass, you make sure the trash gets taken out, you make sure the roof's not leaking.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a conditional promise to pay.
So
it's a bond.
So in box number 11, we don't need to put a 9091 in there.
No, 9091 aren't bonds. The 9091 are orders to them to release that we're releasing our lien against them.
That makes so much sense. That was a major flaw in the stuff that Mr. Yeah. That's very great. That's very good.
Would you please repeat that?
Please, would you?
Jerry, could you?
If that's another one that you want to put in there, yes. Property tax, I think, is a separate issue. I discovered a document in the County Recorder's Handbook called Declaration of Cemetery. I haven't had the energy to trace it down yet, but I know that in Ohio, cemeteries are tax exempt.
That's right.
If it's the same in California,
They're all taxes.
I don't know that for a fact, I'll take your word for it.
And what are they using to assess the tax? The dead man statues are the internal revenue code.
There you go. So if you do a declaration of cemetery, it doesn't mean that you're ever gonna bury a body there. It just means that you're dedicating this land as a cemetery. And then if it's tax-free, it's tax-free.
You have to get permission from the city zoning department.
Now you're talking about, coming from, that question's from the debtor side of the ledger, number one. Number two, I just got done saying you don't ever have to bury a body.
Just the scalp.
The soul. It's just a dedication.
The city has
You're not
no,
asking them permission to dedicate your land as a cemetery. You're telling them, I am dedicating this land as a cemetery.
teacher, Bruce here was talking to me. Could you just start all over with that whole?
Excuse me?
It all together.
I said, in Ohio, I discovered that cemeteries are tax exempt. In California, I discovered in the California handbook, in the California County Recorder's Handbook, a document called Dedication of Cemetery. If cemeteries are tax exempt in California, then you would simply do a dedication of cemetery to remove it from the tax index. And then Harry had asked about getting zoning permission, you know, and I was just making sure people understood that's a debt question. Because number one, we didn't say we were going to bury any bodies. We're just dedicating it as a cemetery. You can call it a memorial garden if you want to. Put a stone up out there and put on there, dedicated to the memory of all the Indians that got tricked out of their land. It's a memorial garden. It's a cemetery. That's all it is, yes.
The city of Cypress bought Forest Lawn. Forest Lawn, they wanted to put a cemetery in Cypress. And Forest Lawn, Cypress says you can't do it, so Forest Lawn went to the morgue, got 6 cadavers, took them down there and buried them, and now it's a cemetery.
Didn't work for Michael Jackson.
So in number 11, talking about other charging instruments, you would put the same numbers as you would.
Yes. Whatever you put in 7A and 7B. Yep. And then you would do a totally separate set of documents for the second mortgage. A totally separate set for the third mortgage.
Now, here's a scenario. Say we've got a tax lien, and the parties tendered the binding promissory note, or it could be a mortgage, and have gone based upon the WIFIT instructions or direction, and issued the forms, 1099 OID and everything else. Now, on the binding promissory note, the registered mail number that would be used to register that bond could be used in this box, couldn't it? Because that's an asset.
Exactly.
So if it's
Do you know Clayton
registered-
Utterback? He put $3 trillion in the Treasury a year ago. And we've been figuring out how to get the 1.25% just off of it. Just off the bond. $3 trillion. 1.25%. That's not too much.
Yeah, I just found somebody sent me some stuff called Federal Reserve Black Card,
Yeah.
Yeah.
where you fill out these forms to tell the Treasury who to send a payment to.
Yeah.
You could tell them to send it to ABC Mortgage Company on
Yeah.
account number XYZ
Yeah.
and see if that doesn't satisfy a mortgage or two.
I thought you can only do 4,900 a day or something like that.
What's that?
1,000,000,
No.
9,999.
A day?
It's $9,999.99 a day.
I thought it was 49.
900,000 a day.
One penny.
1 penny.
I'd like to see someone do that.
I would too.